Hey, welcome back to the Accounting Struggle. My name is Courtney. Thank you so much for joining. I'm really excited. It's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you last. Hope you've been well. I've been great. Thank you so much. Okay, so I wanted to do a quick video on exam day do's and don'ts. I know that this is like the time of year where people are testing and sitting for the exam, and then even in college with it being so close to final exams, I thought this would be a great time to just kind of go over some do's and don'ts. This is my own personal list. It's not like hard-hitting journalism. Didn't do any research. This is really just stuff that I did and did not do or shouldn't have done, but I did do it and I regretted it. So I want to start with the things you should do on exam day. Just to go over it, like this is made with the mindset of the CPA exam, but it doesn't have to be exclusive. This can be for any exam really, but some specifics on the CPA exam. There are a few things you need to bring with you on the day of the exam. Make sure you know what those things are. Review that email again. You need your notice to schedule. Make sure it's the right one for the section you're actually taking. Don't show up with the one for FAR if you're taking BEC. Pay attention, print that off, screenshot it on your phone, do what you need to do, but make sure you have it because you cannot take your exam without that. Make sure you have all the IDs that you need. Like if it says driver's license, make sure it's valid. Make sure you have your debit card or whatever type of secondary ID you need. Make sure you have that. Also, make sure your car has gas in it. Make sure your tires have air in them. These sound like things that are like going the extra mile, but it's just, you don't need that stress of getting in your car. You're about to take your exam. You're all pumped out or ready and pumped up, and you don't have any air in your tires. You got a flat tire. Like, that's not what you want. So make sure you're prepared. If this is like a school exam in college, make sure you have a Scantron or, pens, pencils, whatever it is you need. Also, for the CPA exam, the testing center is always super cold, but you never know. Maybe the air is broken that week, or maybe this is the winter and it's like the heat is not on. Make sure that you have an adjustable item, so like a sweater or a sweatshirt that you can take off. Make sure you're wearing something that's comfortable. I'm a leggings, sweatpants kind of girl, something where everything can just breathe and I cannot be restrained. Make sure you dress comfortable. You don't want to be thinking about your clothes. Just make sure you have a sweater that you can take off or a sweatshirt that you can take off and still have something on underneath. Also, the day of an exam, I would suggest doing a quick review. So if you have an 8 a.m. exam, I would say a very quick review, but not too close to the exam time. If you're getting up at like 6, give yourself maybe 20 minutes to review, 30 minutes at the most. But other than that, you really just need to head on out and go to your exam. For the afternoon exams, I say you can get up early, study for a couple of hours, but 1 to 2 hours before your exam, stop studying. Do review, but don't cram. It's too late. It's too late to cram, especially if we're talking about the CPA exam. If you don't have it by now, you're not gonna get it. But do work out any kinks. So if there are any little concepts that you are still like, gosh, I keep missing that one, do go over those the morning of, just to make sure you drill it into your head and you go over that just at least 1 or 2 more times. But again, this is meant to be a high-level overview. You're just looking at the key concepts, the overview. It's too late to do any nitty-gritty studying. So something else you should do is you should get some rest. Get some rest before your exam. Make sure you're well rested. You get at least 8 hours of sleep, and that you are stress-free. So you want to turn your phone off and just go into the exam relaxed. I always like to meditate before an exam. If it was an early exam though, I would just go because I don't have time to meditate. But I would try to have some mindfulness, at least 5 to 10 minutes before the exam. I would have at least 5 to 10 minutes of just quiet time. That really helps to calm my spirit down. I would also pray before every single exam, like every single time. I would pray before it, I would pray during it. I'm a prayer warrior, that's just my thing. But whatever that looks like for you, if that's meditation, if that is just journaling, whatever it is, just make sure your chakras are where they need to be. Also, you want to eat something, so do eat something before the exam. Nothing too heavy. This is not the time for chili Cheetos or anything that's going to upset your stomach. You want to just have like something light, something that's good for your energy, maybe a protein shake, some fruit. Bring a little snack with you to the Prometrics testing center. I went like my third exam and I had some change, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna grab something from the vending machine because I know they have one because I've been here before. Child, the vending machine was gone. Don't know what happened to it. So come prepared, have your own snacks, have like a little like peanuts, something that can keep your energy up but is not like super heavy. You don't have enough time to be like pulling out a knife and fork. We're talking banana, an orange, something like that, because you do get a break. I don't know if you get a break on all of them. You can take a break on all of them. Some of them count against you, some of them don't. You just need to look into that and make sure you know which ones are which, but definitely eat something before the exam. And then also get your playlist together. Make sure your vibes are where they need to be. For me, my go-to is trap music. I like to hype the energy up, or just something that's up tempo and upbeat. My very last exam, I listened to none other than the Queen Bee herself, because I'm a Beehive member, and I listened to Homecoming on the way to my last exam, and it was great energy, amazing. I felt like I was ready to take on the world, and I did. So just make sure you go into it with amazing energy, or at least the best energy you can. If you prefer classical or gospel or something to just calm you down, that's fine too. Just find out what works for you and listen to that. Any other do's? In the exam, when you're in the exam, something else you should do is read thoroughly through every single one of these instructions. Read thoroughly through every single question. Answer the questions that you know how to do first. Obviously you have one testlet at a time, and then you have to submit that testlet and you can't go back. But when you're in that testlet, go to the questions that you know first. So if you're boom, 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 okay, now I'm on a question and I don't really know, I'm not too sure, I don't know, I'm not too sure, it's been 5 seconds, go to the next one. And then loop back around, come to the questions again, and by now you may have refreshed your memory. So just make sure you're building your confidence the whole exam and you're answering the ones that you know how to do first. Sounds very simple, but again, it's easy to get flustered and forget all the things you've learned about test taking over the years. So just make sure you stay calm and answer the stuff that you know how to do first. And also, before you submit that testlet, do a quick little drive-by on your answers again and make sure, like, did I answer everything? Every bubble is filled in. I got everything answered. I answered it the way I thought I did. Did I put the decimal where it needed to go? Just make sure, did I round to the place that they told me I needed to round to? That kind of stuff is so important, and it can really cause you to get a 74 on your exam instead of a 75 or better. So make sure you're paying attention to that. So those are some do's, some really important do's. A couple things you don't want to do. I know this should go without saying, but if it's your exam, I don't care if your exam is on a Wednesday, don't go out partying before your exam. Focus and go into this exam as prepared as possible, as rested as possible, as sober as possible. Do not go out and go get your life the day before an exam, or 2 days before an exam, or even the weekend before an exam. Do not be exhausted and drained of energy because you were getting your life in the club. That's not a good idea. So don't do that. Also, this is not the type of exam that you can cram for. So don't do that. Don't wait 1 or 2 weekends before your exam to start getting serious about the material. By then, it's really, you've waited too late. You need to be serious about it from the first day you open the book and start studying, but definitely review any key concepts that you're still going over, that you're struggling with. Do review them, but don't cram. It's too late to cram. So don't study 1 to 2 hours before your exam. Put your study materials away, or even if this is like a college exam, like a final exam, I would say 20 to 30 minutes before the exam, put your study materials away, put your index cards away, let it go. If you ain't got it by now, you ain't gonna get it. It's too late. Just take what information is in your brain, let it stay there, let it upload, and just go into the exam with what you know. It's too late an hour before your exam or right before you go into your exam to still be looking at notes. A lot of people would disagree with that, but for me, that is just something that I did not do. I don't cram. The next thing is don't starve as a don't. It's very important that you're not distracted by your hunger, because if you are, you will not be thinking about the answers. You will be thinking about what you can eat, where you're going to go, what's close to the testing center, where can I order from, do they deliver? Like, your brain is going to wander off into that direction. So just make sure you do not starve yourself before this exam. I get that you are probably not hungry and you probably don't have an appetite because you're so anxious, but don't starve yourself. Don't deprive yourself. Have something to drink, water, something non-alcoholic, and then have some toast or an orange or something. Just make sure you don't starve to death. Another thing is don't rush. It can feel like a lot of pressure, like with the numbers counting down at the top of the screen. You can feel like, oh my God, I have to hurry up and go to the next question. But if you're answering every single question, but you're answering them all incorrectly because you're making careless mistakes, what's really the point? You should make sure that everything that you are answering, you're answering it as accurately as you know how. And if that means you missed the last 2 questions and you don't answer them, if you are 100% confident in the work that you have completed, you can sacrifice those 2 last questions. That's better than getting all these questions wrong because you weren't paying attention, because you were rushing. So I would say, watch your time, of course, but don't rush through. Don't skim through directions. Make sure you're reading things thoroughly and looking back over your answers before you submit them. The most important part of all of this that you should not do, don't fold. Don't give up. Don't let that little voice in your head fester. I have done this so many times in exams. I can remember one exam in particular where I was literally giving up in the middle of the exam. I was letting the little voice, the imposter syndrome, the little voice in my head, like, you know you're not ready, you know you don't know this stuff, you know you're gonna fail, ain't no way you're gonna pass, girl, this ain't it, this ain't it. That voice can destroy you. So don't allow that to rear its ugly head. Stay focused. Combat that negative self-talk with positive affirmations, even if you're just sitting in your exam cubicle and you're just saying in your head, like, I got this, I got this, like, I got this, it's gonna be cool, I got this. If you have to say that in your mind, fine, no one's gonna know. But don't allow that little voice to destroy you. Just do the questions you know how to do first, and then skip over whatever you aren't feeling as confident about and loop back around. That always helps me to build my confidence, but do not give up in there. It is so easy to become like, or to run out of steam. Even if you start off really strong, it's a 4 to 4.5 hour exam. It's easy to run out of steam. Don't run out of steam. Stay the course, stay focused, stay encouraged, but do not give up in there. If you give up and you just start putting anything, you're most likely gonna fail. I know, because I've absolutely done that before. So just don't do that. Don't do that. So I hope these do's and don'ts are helpful for you. I hope that you are successful. Scores are coming out soon. If you're testing soon, good luck. Wish you the best. If you find that you were not successful because you get your score back soon, you know, I have plenty of videos on that too. Surf my little channel here. But yeah, stay encouraged. Let me know how your journey is going. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.